Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Diamond and I'm going to be doing a pick a card or pick a pile, pick a group on what do you need to be aware about with the situation and what situation in particular do you need to be aware about. 3 piles. So I want to get a very broad general reading, but I also want to be very detailed and specified towards like each pile. I want it to be dramatically different because I've been noticing a lot of the collective energy is just that, collective, and some messages are repeating. So I just want to get a chance to like suss out the vibes with various situations. So whatever come to mind, it doesn't have to be strictly romantic, though. Yeah, just what you need to hear from spirit is my intention overall. You want to look at the shells for each group. This is pile number 1. I got these from a beach in Los Angeles. And this rock is pile number 2. I thought it was an interesting shape. And this seashell for pile number 3. I'll give you time to pause here if you need to meditate further, but I'm gonna start with pile number 1. Excuse me. Pile number 1, those who chose this crystal. Already I'm sensing that, you know, you see beyond whatever imperfections that is of this situation. You see beyond what meets the eye. Things may not be perfect, but, you know, we're making do, we're appreciating what is, because there's a lot good that's going on. I pulled a card to affirm on, but I want to like view it later as like a confirming message. So I'm gonna put it by the candle. So this is gonna give me a feel of like, what is the situation that we need to be aware about, pile number 1. So Knave of Swords came out. This is a communication card, a messenger card, but it also stems from like new beginnings, specifically with like your thoughts or your voice. So someone who's chatty and communicative, of course, but it's something about like being observing this situation. So utilizing your skills of alertness and like being keen, having a keen eye, seeing patterns in the situation, or trying to suss out like the facts, trying to delve into all the knowledge of the situation possible, trying to seek more information about this. I guess that's why you're here. But yeah, something about like remaining vigilant and inspired about the situation. Maybe you trying to gain more of a sense of inspiration of like what to say, or if trying to feel inspired of what to say. Yeah. Guide, light attribute, represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Shadow attribute places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. So the situation you need to be aware about is your wisdom and your spirituality. your relationship with the divine and how you're able to pass down that wisdom, that guidance, that information, that knowledge. So here, to me, it seems like the situation at hand is how you communicate and how you guide others through the skills and talents and the wisdom, the knowledge that you have, and you teaching that onto others. There is a sense of humility you have to the situation where you're still constantly learning and curious, always in that curious mindset of like trying to figure out more and seeking more. You're always going within and seeking times of isolation, probably. Why you need to be aware? What is the situation that you need to be aware about? Pile number 1. Wow, mystic. So yeah, all this crown energy. So something with like your knowledge, your intuition, your wisdom revels in intimate union with the divine, shower attribute, delusional rapport with the divine. So to me, this is telling me that you're grounded in your like devotion to the divine. You're pretty dedicated to your path. You need to be more aware about the situation because you've been receiving messages and downloads intuitively that needs to be expressed. So this is a situation you need to be aware about. Pile number 1, you possibly have been placing financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insights. So you just feel like, okay, I have this thing at work. I have this project I need to get done. This has to be put to the side. I'm gonna delay, I'm gonna put it on a back burner, me imparting this spiritual insight. Maybe you guys could be like a poet or an artist of some sort. This could be the way of like expression that you create or express through symbolical insights. There's a need, like you need to express. The situation is, wisdom, Saturn, maturity that brings caution regarding limits imposed, realistic about, be concerned about, you must wait before you can. So it is a sense that you've been waiting, you've been contemplating, you've been possibly overly cautious about this situation. And I'm feeling here that there's a lot to say. There's a lot of wisdom to be passed down. There's a lot that you've been withholding, a lot of things from spirit that needs to be said. Spirit is trying to speak through you, and you're not saying what spirit wants you to say. Delusional rapport with the divine. Maybe you're not speaking enough to the divine at this time. There's time that you need to take out to really trust more and build a deeper bond and trust with this time of isolation that you're having. Maybe you need to go into time of isolation if you have not already gone within to suss through like your thoughts or times of reflection. What are you most concerned about in your material world, and how can you most gain that? How can you be this spiritual being living a human life in this world and with like the right intentions, the right motives, acting within integrity and passing down knowledges, passing down, wisdom and from your experiences and taking that with you along your path. This is you really taking time to like individuate and be alert to the messages that you're receiving at this time. Now it's time to wait and receive and speak to spirit at this time, possibly meditate and practice any devotion tactic, whether that it be prayer, journaling, or listening to what do you call those? Whether that's scripture or let me get a feel like, why do you need to be aware about the situation? What do you need to be aware about? Can you clarify? Please, Holy Spirit, help me make this reading more accurate and resonate for pile number 1 for the situation. What they need to be aware about? Holy Spirit. What do they need to be aware about? Tower and the Fool card with the 3 of Coins. I feel like you're putting something to end, possibly with a work like a work opportunity. You're putting that to end. You're putting some kind of something that was a shared community, like you're walking away from that and moving on to something new. Or you could be moving on to a role in a community where you can be admired. But either way, something here has to be put to an end in order to have a new beginning. You're leaving something behind. There is something here with like a sense of like humility. So what you have to be aware with the situation, you have to leave something behind in order to carry a community. There's something that's probably been built on a faulty foundation, something that has not been working anymore for you, or there is a need for you to see something with fresh eyes, to get off your high horse of thinking that you see the situation clearly when like you haven't received the message that Spirit is trying to tell you. It's a sense that you need to have an optimism to you regardless of any upheaval that may seem sharp, like unfair or shocking or startling to you. It could have been an ending in a job. You could have been fired recently or laid off or wrongly terminated. Or yeah, you could have been treated unfairly. Someone could have used their authority, their leadership, or their appreciation of you in a negative light. They could have took their appreciation of you as not a form of like, oh, I'm inspired by her. Oh, she made me want to be better. They took it as like a form of like jealousy and envy of like, oh, that bitch, she's so raw. She's so cool. He's so raw. He's so cool. Like, that's basically looks like what happened. Excusez-moi, c'est fait soir. But yeah, bless me. They could be mad that you're blessed, because I never sneeze in a video, like hardly ever. Okay, so something shook up, like an unexpected ending happened to you. If it haven't already, it will happen, and you need to be aware about it, and you need to prepare yourself, because it's still gonna be startling. It's gonna be like catch you off guard that this situation is unfair to you, because you feel like you brought a lot of, you know, joy, optimism to this field. You brought like a lot to the table, a lot more than they know. Like there's a lot close to your chest. But I feel like what you need to be aware about the situation is that, okay, talking, communication, something about communication and the way you express yourself. Maybe you express yourself a lot. You were very communicative in this situation, very chatty. And you said something that sparked a change, or something happened. Someone did something or said something in this situation that sparked a change, to where like, we're on to something new and better. We're on to better things because you have all the resources, skills, talents necessary in order to move on to something better beyond whatever fuck shit this was that tried to play you, or a situation that you're better than, you're bigger than this. Whatever that was unfair and unjust, whoever tried to like win at all costs, whoever tried to be honorary and petty with you and thinking that they won in the situation while you took an L, I feel like you truly, all you did was just left the situation that just wasn't serving you, and you left while there was still time, while you still had your dignity, and all is not lost because there's a lot of wisdom that you're going to take with you from that. You may have been humbled in this situation, and it may have embarrassed you or something, because you were admired in this community, but you're moving on to something way better, and a better community where you'll be more appreciated and better admired for the skills and talents, the healing energy that you bring, because I feel like that light that you shed on others, it only shed a terrible nastiness on themselves. Like, you're airing out like all their nastiness and all their bad ways because of who you are. They're exposing themselves because simply you doing you and you being who you are, keeping your head down, having blinders on, doing you, getting to work, working hard. Like, you just stay in your lane, like nothing really holding you back. You being that loyal, respectable person gets people irked, and they try to like knock you down a peg, I guess. But okay, I'm just gonna move on to something better, and I feel like Spirit is trying to guide you towards that better. It's something about like your intimate union with the divine. You need to be more aware about this situation, be more aware about the relationship you have with Spirit. Like, represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. So it's something about like beyond the financial gain and control over the situation that you want to have. You need to focus more on imparting spiritual insight to others and living by example. So if you left a career situation and you're going on to a new opportunity, and in that situation, it just wasn't like, it wasn't for you. It wasn't gonna last a long time. It wasn't gonna go far. It was only temporary. So you're cutting your losses and moving on to something, while not like it's stealing your joy, not letting that loss, which is really a blessing, steal your joy. And you need to recognize the divine in you, and that everything that you say, there's power in your tongue, there's power in what you have to say. And don't be so concerned about how that is actually going to be set forth practically in place. Just take things a little at a time, step by step, day by day. Capricorn energy to me is like day-to-day stuff. So like routine based things. And this is boss energy. So you're a natural born leader. So I feel like you're a naturally intimidating presence for people because you carry such a potent, strong energy. Like, you're not of this world. With Mystic and Guide both coming out, like, that is no coincidence. You're very highly intuitive, and no decision you make can ever steer you wrong. There's not a bad option. I feel like you're gonna come across opportunities left and right that's gonna be way better than the last one, and you're gonna be able to discern the right choice. You're gonna be able to decide because the opportunity is just gonna seem like a no-brainer. And even then, like, that opportunity that you choose that seems like, wow, that's so great, even that, you're gonna still do better than that and top that. Like, you still haven't peaked. You're never gonna like be comfortable and stagnant in a situation, because I feel like you constantly, with the Tower being the first card and the Fool, that's both Aries energy. So you're willing to go after new beginnings. There is a sense of, I'm hearing gusto. Like, you have your wits to you. Like, you are very witty. And what am I thinking? Like, very calculating. Yeah, calculating with your moves. And there is a sense of grit to you. You remain resilient thus far in your path, despite the obstacles and the upsets, the shocking changes, and very abrupt conflict that has happened in your life, whether that be arguments, petty arguments with people, or just like, it seems like a loss that just seems too grave, seems too staggering to you. It seems as though, like, that's not truly a loss. Like, you still are God's child. You still are Spirit's, like, Spirit is still with you. You have not been left. You still have a sense of royalty to you. There is a sense of, what am I calling? Heiress. Like, I think of, like, being God heirs, you know? Being a child of God, to me, is like you have that same greatness, because that is what created you. Take it what resonates, but, like, there is a sense of, like, you recognizing the divine within yourself and others, and you needing to impart some kind of wisdom for the greater good to help guide others, because you're being guided to do that. You remain vigilant along, like, who truly was trustworthy and who respected you along your path, and you acted in ways that were respectable and character, and you acted in ways that, like, held true to, like, you planted the right seeds. I'm saying you acted in compassion and integrity. That's why Spirit is guiding you so hard and is pulling so hard for you to communicate what you have to say. I feel like you've been waiting and contemplating about this, and you believe that there have been limits that have been imposed on you that seem insurmountable, especially in your day-to-day. Maybe you've been, just, maybe you've been off, like, putting this off. But you have stayed true and pretty defiant towards the situation if you were treated in a way that wasn't fair. You've been pretty strong and you held your own. You kept the backbone. You stuck up for yourself. You persevered, and now it's time for you to look for something else to inspire you. You're feeling inspired and vigilant right now. That's what I'm, for Knave of Swords to come up twice, I mean, double fold. There is an emphasis on remaining curious and grounded in who you are. Recognize the regal authority within you and the success that you bring with you, and the light, the truth, the healing energy that you bring with you. There is a sense of, like, there's something to be happy for in a circumstance. If you feel like you've lost something here, it seems like that's not even a focus of, like, what you need to be aware about. It seems like you don't need to be aware and focus on, like, the unfairness that has happened to you. Focus on, like, how you overcame that and how to move on from that, to seek opportunities where you be admired and appreciated for the work that you bring to a shared community. And I feel like that's a healing presence. Queen of Swords, she's a nurturer. She's a grounding presence that helps enforce, she helped enforce transformation and, you know, help people evolve through their own path. And there's not no right way to do that. Everyone has their own unique path. And I feel like you need to communicate that, like, your path, like, it's not going to look like everyone else's. And maybe how you think success should look isn't how everyone else think success looks that way. And as long as you feel content, and as long as you're doing what spirit tells you to, you're being guided to, you listen to your intuition, you heed your conscience, and you follow that, it doesn't steer you wrong. When you don't feel grounded, when you don't contemplate and you don't suss through that, and when you stay tied to the same faulty foundations and stuck in comfort zone, you're not listening, you remain stagnant, you repeat old things, you never move on, then you have this delusional rapport with divine, thinking that that's what you were told to do, but really you were told to, no, I told you to speak this word, speak this truth, and help others. Or to speak up, have a backbone, and be brave so others can feel like they can do the same. Stand up for a cause. Create in a way that expresses newfound meaning, a deeper meaning to things that help changes people's minds, or to help express things in a symbolical light that give people a sense of wisdom and a hope for a future, and a long future. Because things don't always have to be so faulty. It could be based on a firm foundation where you're not bringing the old things of the past with you. You release those burdens, those cares, those worries. That's why you can go on to new things with optimism. You go on with these new things because you're brave enough to take those chances in the first place, those risks, with a trust of a child. And I'm thinking that trust came from the groundedness and the firmness you feel within yourself. That comes from spirit. So that trust you have is truly in spirit. You're needing to be aware about the situation because you need to trust more in spirit. This is a reminder, not to say that you haven't always been, but you need to be aware about the situation because by you persevering and staying resilient, you're gonna gain some grit to you of the situation. You're gonna improve tremendously. And by you shining a light for others, it's gonna reap you great rewards, great blessings. You're gonna be able to stay right where you are and be able to only just receive life riches. You won't have to strive and hustle and trying to find new ways to gain finances or control over situations. You can just stay put and surrender to the chances and let changes come to you and take those necessary risks from a grounded, rooted place of knowing who you are and the changes that you want to bring about life through how you just influence others with your healing energy. I feel like you're just a nurturing presence to others. Yeah, nurturing. There is a sense of devotion to you. Nothing but love. And I felt right on top of Queen of Coins. So you have nothing but love. And I feel like Spirit wants you to spread that love. I feel like that's what we came here to do. When times are hard and when you see so much horrible shit going on in the world, this is all you can do to help, give a hope in the future. Know who you are and what you're worth. So it is a sense of being grounded in who you are. And I feel like by you doing that, knowing who you are and what you're worth, that'll help build a stronger connection with your relationship with Spirit, you being self-aware with yourself and reflecting, talking to yourself, going within, times of isolation, desperation. So you could have gone through times of desperation. I'm feeling like with your finances, to where you feel like you have to remain resilient. You have to remain resilient, possibly almost on the edge of exhaustion, where you're seeing new challenges ahead and you don't know if you can surmount those obstacles. But I feel like you bring out a different side out of me. I feel like you bring a lot to the table. You bring there's a lot that you have to bring for others. You bring out a different side to me. Maybe you make people want to change for the better by your sheer influence, but you bring a different side. You bring a different side out of me. It makes me think that spirit is bringing a different side out of you, a side that you didn't think that you possessed. Desires us to look at ourselves more kindly. Well, give yourself some grace. So yeah, compassion, having compassion for yourself in the situation. Be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, don't be so hard. You're a great communicator, a great listener. So yeah, emphasis on great listener. You could be someone who listens well. You know how what you say, what you do is going to affect others. People could want to hear with what you, like, they could hear what you have to say. Like, they want to hear what you have to say. They could be looking forward to it. Or it could put them, they could steer them in the right direction. I feel like you being a great communicator and a great listener can help steer people in the right direction. People will admire what you bring to this community by you reminding people to be more kind to themselves, to be more aware of like what they want, what they're worth. I feel like that will spark a lot of changes by you just communicating that. A lifelong friend. So in this situation, this person could view you as a lifelong friend, or people can view you as someone who they would like to have around for a while. You could be a very good conversationalist, actually. I'm gonna leave that out. Been through some terrible stuff in their life, on the edge, knife's edge. Not dwelling on it though. Guide. You're trying to guide others. No longer lives there. They overcame and help others in similar situations. So it seemed like you conquered near-death experiences probably. You could cherish life a lot. So you could help remind others reasons to cherish life too. Villain era. So there is a sense of confidence to you. You could, embrace people's differences. You could be someone people think about often. You could free others from judgment, or you feel free from judgment of others that comes when you say no. Like, because you're living your life and you're doing you and not caring. I feel like people see you being in your own lane, and it inspires others to do the same, live their life beyond what others think. To have a backbone, to say no. protection or spiritual protection. So you are highly protected in this situation. You are highly protected. You need to be aware about, through your spiritual insight, that you pass out spiritual protection, because it's like some return to sender type shit. Because you stay in your own lane, there's no reason for people to just send you bad energy and to do you wrong, to put you in unfair situations. So I feel like eventually things are just gonna balance out. All will be well if you just keep the faith. Longing for more in your career and love. So there could be a lot that you long for, but it seems possibly out of reach. It seems like you're trying to tie up some loose ends, and some situations don't seem like they're going to continue on any longer. And you're wanting to take necessary risks in order to have a step up in your career, have a step up in love. Maybe you want to reach a higher level of commitment, or you want to be in a better position of where you feel like you're truly being valued for your work and you're being respected, and especially for the role that you bring, because I feel like certain people put you on a pedestal that you don't ask to be put on. Some people congratulate and give you compliments. Some people hate secretly, but you've been through enough terrible shit in your life to where you're just trying to prove yourself. You're trying to always like fight to the end and persevere, but you're always ending up butting heads with other people. Like they try to test you. You be put to the test, and you be feeling like a strong pull to act out of ways that aren't mature. But then they'll cycle into like more ways of like you realizing, oh, I'm just not perfect, never truly healed, I have more healing to do about the situation, I'm not over it completely, I'm triggered again. And so when you realize that you're in self-doubt, oh, this person made you feel low to where you don't really believe in yourself. Okay, I actually do believe in myself. I have something to say. I have skills and talents that actually can be expressed, and I can put it to the test. And I don't know, I feel like I can live the lifestyle I want to live, and this is the life for me. I feel like you guys conquered a lot of hard times, and it's time for you to actually like believe in yourself and put the necessary foot forward into being in a role where you'll actually be appreciated. Let me get the card for you to meditate on. Sun, moon, earth, infinity. All that is in infinity, I am thee. So I am thee. It seems like you're trying to say I am. I am like how God would be saying I am. I am what I am. Like I am that guy. I am that B. Like we're all in this together. It is a sense of like we're all one. I am the sun, the moon, the earth, infinity. All that is in infinity, I am thee. So I hope that resonated. Let me know by liking, sharing, subscribing. I'm gonna clear this energy and go on to the next pile. That was nice. Definitely let me know if that resonated. Like, no big deal. those who chose this crystal, I'm gonna start with your pile. I pulled a card to meditate on, but I'm gonna save it for the end so it can clarify our messages. Now, I pulled these cards. We're gonna ask, what is the situation that we need to be aware about? What is the situation that is very general? It could be romance, work, career, or any aspect of life that this situation should resonate to you for, whatever is on your mind. But I want to see what a spirit want you to, redirect your attention to be aware about most. So, a Knave of Wands, fresh ideas, adventure. You could be feeling inspired to take a trip or to embark on a new project, a creative endeavor, or to take a chance on something that you normally wouldn't have, or something that you feel excited about. Femme Fatale, light attributes, highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Shadow attributes, inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. So with that, the situation that you need to be aware about is that you are definitely being recognized for your wiles, your attractiveness, your erotic energy of the feminine. You are basically sitting pretty, observing, and your cards are close to your chest, and there is a sense of flirtiness, of just waiting to receive, because the voluptuous, the abundance, the groundedness of who you are, you're like, I know who I am, what I'm worth, and I'm not gonna go chasing. Not after no money, not after no power, not after no person. There is a sense of, like, you're not trying to overly tempt people. You're just doing you and recognizing your power here. Sorry, I'm just trying to get comfortable. There is a sense of lavishness to you and comfort. Like, maybe you want to reap the comforts of your rewards at this time. Possibly go out on your own on an adventure, because you're trying to have an open heart about new beginnings, new creations. Students, light attribute, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Shadow attribute, arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So I feel like you're being called to put your knowledge into action and to remain humble in doing so. Always having a learner's mindset, not thinking that you're a know-it-all, or that you're trying to seek information in a way of trying to down someone and make someone feel low, or to prove someone wrong, to prove someone wrong, to butt heads with them. Yeah, there's a sense of, like, you're learning and wanting to translate that knowledge into wisdom and action. Again, with, like, groundedness, my viewers are grounded in who they are. Like, you know who you are, and you realize where your power comes from. It's not about the status and people fearing you and your sexual wiles of your beauty. It's not about the money you have or whatever you have. It's about what's inside you, where you get your, like, resources from, where your source comes from, your knowledge, your wisdom. And there's a lot of wisdom to you. There's a lot more that meets the eye. And I feel like a lot of people underestimate you. But I feel like you're going to go far because of your devotion to knowledge and your openness to lifelong learning. You see things like with a freshness, with like fresh eyes, with a trust of a child. I'm hearing you know how to have good times in life. With the gray, yeah, you're grounded. You know how to have good times in life because your things are in order. Like all your responsibilities, your duties. Okay. Like you have a home. You have your own individual life. You're not dependent on anyone. You're not waiting for someone to come save you and provide for you, to give you some kind of status or power or money. And you don't need that from anyone. There is a sense of humility to you, but don't let that fool you, because there is a regal power and authority because you are on your power. No matter if this energy seems immature or naive, there is a sense of like you know exactly what you're doing, and wisdom, knowledge. 11th house, so uniqueness, individuality, smarts. This is science and technology. There is a sense that you're like out of the stratosphere. You're out of the box. Some people just don't get you, you know? Some people could be falling behind on the wayside of your life, trying to act like they're up to date with like thinking that they're intelligent. But for you, you need to realize like something that you're doing for your future, your hopes and wishes, your circle of people. Are people trying to make you dependent on them, needy for them for money, what they can do for you, or what you can do for them? Are you having an openness for learning, lifelong learning? Are you devoted to knowledge right now? There is a sense of like you're in a beginner's mind right now. You're possibly starting a new career field. You're branching out, or yeah, you're like shifting gears here. Something new, a new project, wanting to take a chance and venture out, something beyond your comfort zone. But you're excited about it. You're feeling energetic and cheerful. There's a sense of like something about you putting yourself out there, the situation that you need to be aware about. You could have been put in a situation where your erotic energy has been used against you. Maybe people was suspicious about you because you play your cards close to your chest. Your head is always in a book, or people not sure if you're looking or not, if they have your attention. But this situation, it seems like you're an attention grabber of a person with the femme fatale. It seems as though you don't crap fit. I'm using a random psychology term, I guess, that I've learned from like what's her name, Anne Funkel or something like that. But yeah, you don't fix yourself to situations that are just disastrous. You don't try to make it work. Like if it's a situation that's just not good for you and it's not respectful, it's not serving you at all, for you channeling your ideas, your sources of inspiration, like of you grounding your energy in order to express your insights, to translate that knowledge into action. It's something about like you putting something into action, something that you've been holding close to your chest. For humanity's sake, for freedom, to liberate others. Knowledge is, wisdom is greater than like any money. It's better than money. It's better than power. So you're in the right energy. I feel the situation that you need to be aware about. I feel like there is a sense of you having hope in your future here beyond whatever state and growth you are in, or yeah, however money you do have, or whatever power you do think you have. There's like more to come from here. Like in the future, you're just gonna keep expanding because you remaining in your unique power, like you branching out from what everyone else is doing, you being creative, having that fresh new idea. Yeah, I feel like you need to take notes on your thoughts associated with these new ideas. Like take notes. Don't be distracted. And don't be lazy. There could be an urge to like procrastinate, thinking that you should just wait to receive, because the tree here is immovable. The grounded energy is, I can't, I can't ignore it. Highlights your erotic energy of the feminine, and then Aquarius energy, the water bearer, the cup bearer. Your cup overflowing and giving out onto the world for humanity's sake. So I feel like you're going to be a bigger deal than you think. No matter whatever humility you think. Like the student, you think, okay, they're in a lower role. They're being taught something, taught a lesson. But that's actually the best side to be on, is to learn. I don't know about the best side, but like it is a good side to be on. Both being that teacher and the student, it goes hand in hand. It's like yin and yang. So I feel like you being in your feminine power, by you being receptive, you being abundant, and believing in that, believing that there's nothing that you truly ever lack because the future is looking bright. Just putting things into action, putting your best foot forward is gonna take you far. Like taking each thing one day at a time. It's like, take time to contemplate out your hopes and wishes here, to think out the life that you dream. And a lot of sparks of inspiration will come to you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And I just pulled on, why do you need to be aware about the situation? Like, what about the situation do you need to be aware on? Just to clarify further on this. The situation you need to be aware about. Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups, Knave of Cups, Three of Cups, and the King of Swords. The only sword energy. Interesting. I rarely ever get mostly cups. So there is a sense why you need to be aware about the situation. To further clarify the situation you need to be aware about, you are highly intuitive. You're very grounded in yourself, which is why I was already picking up on the sense of like groundedness. It goes hand in hand with like by you knowing who you are and you having that firm root in reality, feeling safe and secure here while you're venturing out into other dimensions, basically matrix type shit. While you're venturing off into different dimensions with your psychic knowledge, you could have very keen sense of intuitive abilities where your decisions never really steer you wrong, and there's always a sense of optimism here, but you remain grounded in that, in this reality, to where fantasies and delusion, like you're not living some kind of universe of that doesn't really exist. There is a sense of like you realize like what your hopes and fantasies are, and you aspire for them. You put necessary actions forth towards doing that, or you have to. You need to be aware about grounding that and putting that into action, because you've been thinking probably this is like a lofty idea, like this is like if pigs only can fly, you know, something that's impossible. If only pigs can fly. So like, could it really happen? Like, you have to believe it. And good times are coming ahead, I believe, with the Three of Cups. It seems like you need to communicate something like your truth, or try to see above the obstacles, the limits of your situation, because there could be some conflicts that you're trying to surpass at this time. Some kind of need to work together where maybe that is trying to happen here. There's a need to try to put your best foot forward and use others to help build you up. The actions of others are only steering towards elevating you, even if it's like arguments and like conflict with others. It's gonna elevate you because you're persevering through obstacles, through things that are opposing you on your path. You're headed towards success, and I feel like people are mad about that because they thought you were gonna be stagnant, but you know what you want and who you are and the direction where you want to go, despite opposing forces trying to deter you. You're like bolstering towards your goals pretty steadily. I'm here, let's get together, yeah. So you're like bringing the good people around you. There is a sense of like excitement here, like things to look forward to beyond the challenges that you have to overcome or that you have overcame. There's still more on the horizon. I don't see the Three of Wands, but basically I feel like travel is in your cards, like things that you feel like you have to keep close to your chest and be defiant about telling others. You've been trying to move in silence. You've been trying to make moves in silence because you feel like people are trying to observe you. You feel like people have common goals to you, like they want the same thing, and they're out for like the same thing that you want, the same milestone, the same riches. But there's enough for everybody. Like there's a fair share, it's a balance. There's a lot that you have to actually get to the situation, but other people feel like maybe it's a competition and you're just up there for success, and they could be mad that you're not stuck with a hard choice. You're able to make difficult choices because you know what you want and the direction where you're headed in life. You can believe in your hopes and dreams, and for humanity's sake, I feel like because there's a selflessness to you, that's why you get what you want. People always wonder, well, she's lucky, wonder how she do it. How can she persevere all this time? How does she do it? You know, how do they do it? How does he do it? But I feel like this is a belief and trust that you have with the divine and with yourself, knowing who you are and what you're worth, what you're worthy of putting up with. When your dependency is rejected, okay, cool, that's fine. I'll just sit here looking pretty because I have many options and life is good to me. There is a sense that you've learned a lot from this situation and that you're ready to put the childish things behind you in order to look at things more logically, more factually, and knowing the truth of things beyond the matters of feelings, so you won't be taken advantage of. You'll have that backbone to where you'll be able to take care of yourself and fend for yourself in times of like where you would have been sensitive or needy or dependent on someone with the Queen of Cups energy. Now you're firm and rooted in your power and who you are. You meditated and sussed through your fears and anxieties and your resentments. There is a sense here that you know who you are grounded in your feelings. They're not overpowering you. And yeah, there is a sense that you like are fine with your own independence. With the Nine of Cups, you're a high achiever. You're successful, abundant. You have all your hopes and desires. You have all you hope for. Or you can just truly believe it and put your mind to it, put the necessary actions together, you know, for your future. Have hope for a future because it's possible. You don't have to turn your back on it. And you don't have to turn your back on your community. I feel like there's a sense of wanting to work together in order to be on the same page and meet each other halfway, to overcome times of stagnancy and to move forward together and share some ideas that you probably been protecting yourself with, you know, been trying to protect the success that you've already accumulated for yourself because you're trying to maintain it. You're not trying to be messy. You're not trying to invite any messy people on your boat. So that makes sense. You do bring a lot to the table, pile number 2. And not to say that you always need to bring something to the table, but like how things are transactional, but it's just like, it's safe to say that like you're a worthy being. And there's a lot of power to you because of the knowledge that you do have. And there's not a sense of arrogance because of the success that you already achieved for yourself or the knowledge that you have. You didn't use that in a way of straying from integrity beyond, you know, times of rejection that you could have gone through, or times where people have said no to you, and you have to keep on moving forward and just keep doing you and not let that deter you. Okay, I'm gonna get some clarifiers. Some clarifying messages. Holy Spirit, please clarify. Divine Spirit, so I can get the most accurate message for pile number 2. Yeah, it is what it is, whatever. Take it one day at a time. So I feel like this is a situation where you had to say it is what it is, it's whatever. not speaking, silent treatment. Maybe you're not speaking to someone because they rejected you, or the situation fell flat. It was a dead-end situation. There's nothing to say. You turn your back towards the situation. Mixed feelings. So you could have mixed feelings about the situation. A lifelong friend. People can view you as that. I really like spending time with you. Romantic intentions. I want to pull some on that. What does that mean? Lifelong friend. I like spending time with you. So someone could have you as like a wish fulfillment for them. They've been fantasizing a lot about you because of the energy you bring to the situation. This person in this community, 3 of Cups, you guys could be kindreds, someone who they can relate to, someone they feel close to. But you could have communicated something to this person that they needed to hear. They respect that you help them through times of self-doubt, that you aren't entitled to other people's intent, that you're not entitled to other people's energy, or you don't feel like other people are entitled to your energy. Well, it's getting messy. It's getting messy. I'm very curious about you. Individual, work, relationship, not the main focus. So relationship is not the main focus. You're really to yourself, like in your own individual world. People realize, like, with you, vulnerability is key. You have to humble yourself and confront issues head on. You can't sidestep and try to like difficult conversations. So yeah, self-doubt, desperate, protection, spiritual protection. So people could try to get your energy or something. Maybe they be trying to like get in your energy and seek information about you, because they see you in your power. But I feel like you're spiritually protected. You could feel like because of your attractiveness that you're more prone to being mistreated or devalued, or feel like you're gonna get taken advantage, like you're gonna get used for your looks or your money or your power or something of the sort, where you're like protected. Anymore. Triggering, remaining focused on career goals. So you're triggering people by remaining focused on your career. Ow. And then spiritual protection fell, and I hurt myself trying to catch it. So people be trying to hurt themselves, trying to look at you, but you're spiritually protected. They be trying to figure out like what you're doing, and it triggers them because you're focused on yourself. You're not looking at what they're doing. Typical. But you could have gone through like a lot of hardships. Like you could have conquered near-death experiences. You just are not trying to you're not trying to dwell on like the past experiences. You're just trying to learn and overcome them and help others through similar experiences and situations. Yeah, I do feel like people feel very vulnerable and safe when they're with you because of your sensual nature. Okay, pile number 2. I hope that resonated with you. Let me know by liking, sharing, or subscribing. I'm gonna move on to the next pile while I clear this energy. I'm definitely hungry. Those who picked this seashell, I'm gonna start with you. Oh no. No, 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 no. Pile number 2. I forgot to read their meditation card. When you check your own mind properly, you stop blaming others for your problems. You recognize that your own mistaken actions come from your own defiled, deluded mind. So I don't know, maybe it wasn't meant for them hearing, but if you're still here and you heard it, you heard it. Maybe if you wanna get a closer look, but I'm gonna move on. Clear the energy, clear the energy. Sorry. Those who picked this crystal, we're gonna start. Maybe you meant to hear that meditation card, but I'm gonna save yours to the end. I'm not gonna forget. Just to see if it clarifies everything that I said for your whole reading. I pulled some cards to clarify. I asked Spirit, like, what is the situation that you have to be aware about? 10 of Wands came out. So something about your responsibilities and burdens are overwhelming you to the point where now you're taking time to need to suss through, you need to suss through, like, what needs to break down, what needs to be over with, what do you need to delegate, like, what responsibilities have you picked up from others, like doing things from others that you need to let them take care of. And yeah, putting struggles to an end. How can you best put your struggles to an end right now to prevent burnout? Needing to take more time out to rest. Judge, light attributes, balancing justice and compassion, managing a fair distribution of power. Shadow attribute, offering only destructive criticism, misleading, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. Liberator, light attributes, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. Shadow attributes, imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. So you're acting with an integrity for sure, because compassion and justice came out. There's a sense that you handle yourself with dignity and fairness in this situation, and yeah, there's a sense of like fairness, wanting things to be diplomatic, wanting things to be, you know, just and liberator too, like freeing yourself from the situation and freeing the people involved. So, especially from like bad thought patterns about the situation, where you had thoughts of fears or thoughts of resentments or disbelief in self. You shed a light for others, I feel, with your compassion, the many facets that is to you. Like, I do feel like there's a truth that you say that sets people free. I'm hearing the truth will set you free. So you speaking your truth set people free, releasing negative thought patterns. I feel like you're compassionate to those that you liberate. You don't put people down. You don't ignore things that just I don't know. There is a sense of, I don't know, with your group, I'm feeling like moon. Yeah, like my mind is fogged with your group. Moon and Mercury. And you're the only group that 2 astrology cards came out. So something like about you communicating your feelings. Maybe you communicate your feelings in a manner that only offered destructive criticism, or someone misused their power of authority. They didn't treat you fairly. And you're trying to think differently about the situation. You're trying to see the situation in a different light instead of not being fair about how you move. It seems like you have to distribute power and liberate. Distribute power and liberate your thoughts and your feelings. You have a lot of feelings, your thoughts. I don't know why I'm talking like this in your group. I'm so sorry, pile number 3. This is very telling. You could be very much in your head about the situation. You need to like let go of like negative thought patterns. And I immediately like felt defensive. Like, oh, she better not say nothing bad about me, or like what is the intention of like you receiving this reading behind here? And like, you're clearly overburdened and overworked. You could be a workaholic. But the point of this is like you're stressed and you can't take it anymore, and now you're trying to not be stressed anymore. Or at least that's what the situation is calling you to do. This is why you need to be aware about the situation, because there's not a fair distribution of power. Someone here is being trapped in their mind and bogged down. They don't feel truly free in the situation because someone is treating them unfairly with harsh criticism, misusing their power, being a tyrannical force, or being someone that they claim to liberate others with what they have to say, like, oh, I'm gonna free you with some kind of wisdom, I'm gonna be some kind of guiding light for you and speak my truth. But really, your truth is a truth with a capital T, not a truth with, I mean, you know what I mean. Your truth is a truth with a lowercase t, not a capital T. Your truth is your truth, but is it everyone's truth? Or you aren't feeling firm enough in your power to be able to defend your intuition, to trust your intuition, and to communicate that. It seems like you've been thinking a lot about your feelings and coming to terms with that, whatever the situation is that you came to this reading about. And you're trying to let your mind and your feelings tell you how to go about the best way of doing things, but you're feeling conflicted because maybe you're used to normally thinking about things in a logical, I'm thinking liberator and judge. These are air sign qualities here. I know I see a fire with the torch, but with the blue, I'm thinking communication. And to me, that's, you know, thought, communication, throat chakra. So you're grounding yourself in, like, in order to know what to say, trying to liberate yourself from useless thoughts in order to make a sound decision, being strong in your power, but not too overpowering to the point where you're misusing your power. Seems like you're trying to put some fairness back into the situation and give everyone in the matter a peace of mind. Yeah. Also, with Mercury and the Moon card, this has been a long time coming. Maybe this has been cyclical. Like, there's been many cycles, many moons. Yeah. This has been cyclical. Yeah. There is going to be reactions from the words that you say, or maybe you feel like there's some feelings caused by what has been told to you, or there will be some feelings caused by the thoughts that you have. Now my feelings feel like really tense right now. Maybe I'm just tired because this is the last group, but yeah, you're trying to nurture your awareness at this time, trying to hone your intuition, trying to trust it more. There is a sense of you, like, wanting to defy obstacles that try to hinder you, ignoring legitimate constraints. It's you acknowledging them and shining a light on it. But you saying, I wasn't even going that way anyway, because that was leading me to overthink and not make a move. Now I want to free myself from overthinking and about the situation in general, and free everyone from overthinking about it and just put it to an end. It seemed like something's just breaking down here. Because it just doesn't feel like there is another way. It's just too stressful. Now you're trying to assess, like, what truly is your priority here. Ten of Wands is like, what truly matters right now? What do I value right now that I'm gonna make my decisions? Like, what values am I gonna base my decisions on? And I'm gonna free myself from any struggles I put myself through. Seem like these are complex, intricate cards with patterns. And I feel like this is a complex situation where you thought a lot on the matter and try to suss through things with a sound mind. though you're still feeling confounded, but like there's a sense of like being on the edge here, or like with the blue, these are facing outwards, these are facing inwards. So you're really in your thoughts about your feelings, but it's time to communicate and put out like your feelings. Put out the feelers here. Clarify. Why do they need to be aware about the situation? Can you clarify the situation so I can give pile number 3 the best accurate reading? Something with like a lot of emotions and holding back. Something with like communication. Lacking communication. There's a lack of communication in the situation. I didn't tell myself I was going to take reversals, but this felt facing this way on my stomach. So there is a sense of wanting to reconcile. There's some kind of family dispute or some kind of breakup, a commitment no longer working out, or something that you saw continuing for long term. There's conflict here. You're trying to reconcile it by speaking some kind of truth, putting an end to the betrayal, moving on, and healing it, licking the wounds. There is a sense that, yeah, you're thinking about your feelings, how the situation made you feel, and it's time to like release it, the burden of it. Being gentle on yourself and the other person, liberating yourself, freeing yourself from the situation. I'm hearing love liberates. If you truly love them, set them free. And then Judge is making me think of Libra energy. Not me, but we. So being selfless and compassionate, not only to yourself, but of the other person. No hard feelings type stuff. I'm getting here. What else? 6 of Swords. Moving on. Being a peaceful influence. Being of help. So this is where help comes in. And I feel like you need to be aware about this because help is coming in. Beyond any times of unfairness, I feel like all wrongs will be righted in the situation because you remained in integrity. Or at least your intentions came from a place of, okay, I see where this went wrong. I want to make this right. I want to balance the scales. Your motives is good here in this situation. And the other person's motives is good. Take it as it resonates. Whoever feels like they want to reconcile and offer the apology, I feel like it will be well received. Though, let me take into account of the question of 8 of Coins and Wheel of Fortune bottom of the deck with the 6 of Swords. There is a sense of dedication and loyalty to the situation, to the energy and effort put in, no matter how many moons or cycles has gone on from the things just not being settled, things being still burdensome, priorities not being assessed, someone trying to win at all costs, being selfish. There's a sense of like righting wrongs and putting the necessary work in order to meet some kind of milestone. Something from the past, a disappointment from the past. 9 of Cups, 8 of Swords, 5 of Cups, with the 6 of Cups. 8 of Coins being in the bottom of the deck again, and a Knave of Cups is trying to peek out. So someone is in deep contemplation about you, possibly thinking of reconciling or apologizing. I normally don't channel this kind of message, but I see what I see. That's why I was probably stumped in the beginning, because I was just like, Someone's trying to balance the scales, trying to liberate you from a situation that seems burdensome, because there's a lot of time spent feeling things and contemplating about it. I feel like this person recognizes where the blessing was. Take it if it's you or this person that recognizes where the person in this situation, whether it's you or someone else, recognizes the hopes and dreams that they truly want to achieve and like go after. I feel like you're a wish fulfillment. The situation you have to be aware about is something from the past for sure, with the 5 of Swords, 6 of Cups, 10 of Swords energy, 5 of Cups. Yeah, someone's been trapped in their mind with the 8 of Swords for sure about the breakup of this connection. They thought it was going to be something that they saw in their future, something that, you know, that was going to be something that was going to be, like, I feel like how this person feels, like all tied up and twisted inside. Like, they want to free themselves, from overthinking about this. They want to communicate ways of how they feel like they can right their wrongs, or how they can distribute power back into the situation for it to feel like it's on equal playing field, so you can feel supported and nurtured and content in a relationship with them, rather than feeling like you're better off. You know, it's a disappointment of the past. Let bygones be bygones. You're grieving it, and it's something that is lost. It's something that broke down. You're moving on. So beyond the challenges of the situation, I feel like this person wants to go on some kind of new beginning, a new transition, to go out of like outmoded beliefs, to go out of negative thought patterns, to move on from past disappointments. Maybe this is something you need to be doing, you feel called to do. But I feel like this is a different person. Take it as it resonates. If you feel like I'm reading for you and the energies are switched, take it as it resonates. Don't force the message to fit. But I feel as though, like, sorry, that this person wants commitment still with a 10 of Cups, but they're trapped in their mind thinking like it's not gonna happen. That's the negative thought pattern, possibly, like it can't be, or they're trying to free themselves from this, like it's over, it's dead and gone, let me just move on, because it's a disappointment of the past. Someone could be thinking like this, but there's still something like a hope in the future of someone possibly getting on your boat and making everything all right, of you getting out of your head of the situation and moving on to calmer waters through another influence in your life that'll come right on time when you need them. That'll help get you out of this analysis paralysis, being trapped in, you know, shadow thinking, doing the shadow work. This is you sussing through your fears, resentments, and, you know, self-doubts, self-limitations. So I feel like that's constantly going through someone's mind right now. And with the mind and the cups energy, the mind and the thoughts, so there's a confliction here of like being torn in two. I want to reconcile because I feel like this is a blessing. And, you know, you could be saying this, or this other person. I feel like this is something I've always wished and hoped for. And I recognize that I'm happy with myself. I have my own like I reach my own achievements and success, and I feel pretty content with the life that I made for myself, and I want someone to share that with my abundance, with my dreams. I want to share my dreams with someone, and I did you wrong, and now I want to right my wrongs because I want to spend that with you. You deserve it, or something like that. This person or you feel this way towards the situation or something of the sort because there's a sense of familiarity with this person. There's a sense of comfort, and like they know who you are. It's been a long time coming, it feels, with the Six of Cups. This could be your child. Maybe you're trying to instill some kind of belief in them, trying to heal their child, or you're trying to heal your inner child by re-nurturing yourself, by giving yourself the home that you didn't have, instead of being trapped in your head about resenting your parents for giving you the childhood that you didn't want, though it made you who you are in the best of ways, because you are you, and that's special. Pile number 3. Or because you don't want to give that to your children. You want to have a peaceful, happy home for your children. You don't want to have a disruptive home life, a hectic, dramatic home life. You want it to be stable, secure, and safe and content. You want things to pretty much I'm hearing copacetic, or at least peaceful. There's a sense of like peace and tranquility you wanting to have in your life. You just want to move on to something better instead of always being disappointed in life or in situations. So there's a sense of moving on beyond disappointments and seeing things in a different light, beyond like, okay, what is life if I don't have disappointments? You know, instead of saying it's always something, say, well, I can't wait for this to turn around. This too shall pass, and this is just gonna make me stronger, instead of staying all doom and gloom in situations that leave you feeling all struck, like you really did like get played really dirty, and like you didn't leave with your dignity intact. There's a sense like, no, you still have your dignity left. You still have like life to live, things to see, places to go. There's still a lot of life ahead of you, and you don't have to give up completely now. Like, not all is lost. And I feel like someone could be wanting to reconcile with you. A lot of people, actually. Let me get some clarifiers. I just saw Can I Talk to You? Can I Comfort You? By Aaliyah. So I Care for You by Aaliyah could have some importance, some lyrics in that song. Financial, physical freedom, flexible lifestyle. So you're trying to live a lifestyle that is suitable to you, that you can afford. Really recognize how great you are. Know all the good qualities about yourself. Someone older than you, or you could be someone older, more mature, rectifying, righting wrongs. What you are still feeling not right about. So someone's not feeling right about how they did you, or you're not feeling right about how you did someone. The someone could have been someone older than you, So you would think that they behave more in a mature way, but they didn't. Take it as it resonates. But definitely recognize like how great you are. Just because someone treat you a certain kind of way doesn't mean that's how you're worthy of being treated. Or just because you did someone a certain kind of way doesn't mean that's worthy of how they should be treated. They need to be like, rectify that, you know all the good qualities about them and don't shit on them, and don't shit on yourself. Recognize all the good qualities about yourself, write them down, note those good things about yourself. Don't just say, oh, I guess there's a few good things about me, but then you're always going back to like the comforting easy thoughts of like, okay, being stuck in your mind and your feelings about the situation, about this person. I feel like you could be feeling pulled to this person even though you try to move on. You always think back to him, the disappointments of the past. Be very self-aware, never truly healed, not perfect. So realize that you're a work in progress. Felt like commitment wasn't for them. So maybe before they felt like commitment wasn't for them with the 10 of Cups in reverse. Now my stomach is hurting like really bad. Like I have a piercing pain, like butterflies, like nauseousness. Like I was cool. Like I didn't think I was gonna feel like this. Coming to terms while wanting a change in this. Any more? Well, that's a lot. Wisdom brings intuition to know your destiny. So I feel like that's the overall energy of all three piles, honestly. It's like you gain a lot of wisdom through this situation. Put the actual work in. Mashallah. A recognition of the divine intervention and kismet. There's no like serendipity here. Like God is not going to put in the work for you. You have to do it yourself. Prove myself, always butting heads. So someone was trying to prove themselves to you, but that only proves like make you guys keep butting heads with each other. Because they was behaving in ways like out of the ego. Test you. So someone here was put to the test, or you were. A strong pull. Did I not say? You could still feel a strong pull to this person. This could feel like a deep connection that you've made with them. Yeah. Intrigued. So you have this person intrigued, or you're intrigued by this situation. Believing God, spirit, universe in the face of a bad or new situation. Could be bad or new. Take it as it resonates, but having faith and believing in spirit in the face of like uncertainty, basically. Be careful of overgiving. Yes, I feel like that was taken advantage of, possibly. Heart on sleeve, being direct with your feelings. Someone could have been overly communicative with their feelings while someone was holding back, which is why I had a huge throat blockage in this group. Huge. Living in an authentic way. So instead of imposing your own tyranny over those who claim to liberate and ignoring the constraints, you're just staying in your lane and doing you, living life authentically to you, not trying to go out of the box and stretch yourself too thin in order to live a lifestyle that you just can't afford or can't maintain realistically. It's just going to put you through exhaustion. Trying to live a life that looks successful, trying to achieve, and it's only going to bring you miserable like days, basically. That's not you living authentically. You living authentically is you liberating yourself from things that burden you. Figuring out what you truly want. Like, what do you actually want? It's cool to like the things that you were liking before, but only if you're acting out of ways that is compassionate towards yourself and others, and that is just. And that isn't like binding you and restricting you. and chaining you to things outside of you that's not gonna actually make you happy. It's within you. Like, it's inside you that you get that sense of happiness, and like that's where it comes from. Prayer will help the situation, sending loving thoughts, your own path, independence. Heavy focus on your career and milestones. Switching things up, a change of pace, and patience is needed here. So compassion, patience, giving yourself grace is definitely needed here. Definitely prayer and journaling, being open and communicative with your thoughts will help you stop feeling bogged down and so stressed in your mind. Oh my gosh, I literally feel everything. Like, I'm glad my stomach is not hurting anymore, but like there's piercing pain in the back of my neck. And yeah, it's kind of giving me a little bit of a headache. So just send loving thoughts. Yeah, send loving thoughts about the situation. And whenever you catch yourself thinking those outmoded beliefs. Catch yourself releasing those negative thought patterns. Like, oh, another negative thought. Here I go again. Let me not be negative. Let me try to shift my perception. Let me skew my, my focus. Let me figure out what I truly want, and am I living in an authentic way that is true to my own individualistic power? Like, is this my own individualistic path right now? Am I trusting spirit? There is a sense that, like, if by you being true to yourself, change will come, and that'll be like necessary change to help liberate yourself from whatever has been burdening you. And I feel like that comes with your career or work, or something that you've been dedicated towards, something that you worked hard on, and it took many cycles for you to, many moons for you to try to complete this or to perfect this skill or talent. I feel like you got that in a bag, whatever, like within your work field. But like, yeah, you're gonna go a long way in that. Like, you're gonna go far. Just start out small with like a humble beginning, something just a little at a time. And over time, I feel like you'll go far, and it's gonna lead you to go down a bright path in your future with milk and honey. And I feel like I'm speaking that into existence, like it's for sure gonna happen. Pile number 3. I hope that resonated with you. Please let me know by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hitting that bell if you want to know when I will post again. Who knows when that happens? So I'll try to be more reoccurring, be more frequent with that, to keep you guys happy, because I actually do enjoy doing these videos. And yeah, I hope that this was entertaining for you.